And that intersection where the accident happened is one of the most dangerous in Columbus. 18 accidents happened there from January to March this year. The city and Ohio Department of Transportation, they've been studying the intersection since August. There's no clear end date yet for the study, but people who drive through there, they want to see changes now. Right now, the speed limit on Henderson Road is 50 miles an hour. It drops to 35 miles an hour at the 315 underpass. And the other direction on Olentangy River Road, it's 45 miles an hour. If you want the speed limit lowered in your neighborhood, all it takes is one phone call in Columbus. ABC6 is on your side tonight, helping you make the change. Just dial 311, and then the City of Columbus will file your request. A study will be done measuring the average speed right now. Then City Council and the Ohio Department of Transportation, they must give approval to changing that speed limit. The Columbus Public Health Department says it's been busier than ever with vaccinations. The department says it's seen a drastic increase in the number of families coming in for childhood immunizations. It says it's due to these school-enforced rules on vaccinations. Columbus Public Health saying because of those rules, the number of kids who are not treated properly have gone down, but it is not picture perfect. If students in Columbus City schools are not up to date with the immunizations, the district will not allow them to attend school. Vote 08 coverage is ahead in this next half hour. Who won the debate last night? Well, ABC6 has a look at what you are saying on the battle between Biden and Palin. And we continue following a developing story. The longest-serving police chief in the country decides to step away from his office in Central Ohio. And he may be the most famous, or is it the most glamorous, soccer player in the world. Coming up, Beckham with Rothman and a young man meeting his hero. Columbus Police Chief James Jackson is retiring. That announcement comes as part of a settlement against the City of Columbus over his long-standing defamation lawsuit. Jackson will take administrative leave beginning November 27, and he officially retires March 16th. ABC6 reporter Carol Looper has more on the settlement and what it has cost you, the taxpayer. Carol? In Vote 08 tonight, the highly anticipated vice presidential debate is now over, and people around the country, they are mulling over the performances. Who won? A CNN poll found Senator Joe Biden was the winner by a 51% to 39% margin. A CBS News poll of uncommitted voters shows 46% thought Biden won, with 21% siding with Governor Sarah Palin. Both candidates, though, for the presidency, they're back on the campaign trail after last night's debate, and so are their running mates. ABC's Lindsay Davis shows us where the campaigns go from here. We continue covering the fallout from the market meltdown. The Dow and NASDAQ both down today about 1.5%. The Senate on Wednesday, and today the U.S. House of Representatives approving the bailout bill. President Bush put his name on the paperwork this afternoon. Megan McCorkle joins us right now from Washington with more on the bailout. The bill did not pass initially, but Megan, what was it about this revised bill that helped turn the House around?
It just wouldn't happen again, Kent.
There were a lot of people, both sides, a lot of pressure, you're right. What is the reaction now in Washington to the passing of the bill? All right, Megan McCorkle reporting for us live from Washington, D.C. tonight. Appreciate it, Megan. The bailout bill, it's designed to help fix the economy, right? It is also loaded with political pork projects to try and sway some votes. ABC6 on your side found where some of that money is going. For instance, people who buy plug-in electric vehicles will be eligible for a new tax credit. That program, though, is going to cost more than $750 million. Almost $400 million is going to tax breaks for Hollywood over the next 10 years. TV and film crews, they'll be able to deduct more money for their productions. And wooden practice arrows used by kids, they wouldn't be taxed anymore. And that's going to cost about $2 million over 10 years. So many people in Central Ohio still with concerns about the big bailout. ABC6 hit the streets in Mount Vernon to ask, how will the bailout affect your business? Thanks, Ashley. High drama as a puppy runs loose on a Los Angeles freeway. That puppy avoided being captured by a man on a motorcycle and a woman in a minivan. Finally, though, eventually you'll see another woman picked up the puppy and actually took off. No word on who the woman was or what happened to the puppy. David Beckham is one of the world's most iconic athletes whose name is also a global advertising brand. So needless to say, he's pretty popular. And today our Anthony Rothman says number 23 made a local fan's dream come true. Continuing coverage now, a story that was breaking news on ABC 6 News at 5, a stabbing in broad daylight. And it happened on West Broad and High Street, right across from the State House in Columbus, just before 3 this afternoon. Dispatchers received a 911 call that a Coda bus driver had been stabbed. When officers arrived, they learned that the driver was standing on the sidewalk waiting to relieve another driver when two men started arguing with him. Police tell ABC 6 those men were upset about missing a bus, and one of them allegedly pulled a knife and stabbed the driver in the chest. That driver had been taken in stable condition to the hospital. Those men were arrested. Tonight, the investigation continues into the deaths of two people who were found inside their home. Officers tell ABC 6 a daughter found her mother's body and her mother's boyfriend's body inside a West Columbus home. The latest right now is that police say it looks like a murder-suicide. The man has not been identified. The woman identified as 39-year-old Brenda Keeler. Family members tell ABC 6 News it was her birthday. So far, police have not released a motive. With the instability of the job market, college students are being told don't pass on job offers. In a letter emailed to students at OSU's law school, if a student has one or more offers, accept the job quickly. They advise that while generally job offers remain open for about 45 days, that is not a requirement, and that job may not be there if you wait. The school is also setting up a panel discussion later this month. It's scheduled for October 22nd at 12:10. That's where students can meet with employers about what they're looking for. Everyone trying to find ways to save money, and Monday you'll have your first chance to voice your opinion of AEP's proposed rate hike. Back in August, AEP announced that they wanted to raise rates by 15% a year over the next 3 years. The Ohio Consumer Council tells ABC 6 that by 2011 you may be paying $55 more a month on your bill. They want to find a way to bring those numbers down. Well, in Buckeye football fever tonight, the Buckeyes, they have arrived in Madison. They're getting ready for tomorrow night's Big Ten matchup in Wisconsin. ABC 6 cameras were rolling as the team loaded up the buses at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. They're heading for the airport in this video. Tomorrow night's primetime game, that'll be the biggest test for quarterback Terrell Pryor since he became the starter. We're going to have more on the Buckeyes from Madison tonight on Fox 28 News at 10 and on ABC 6 News at 11. And you should just plan right now on spending tomorrow night with ABC 6. Buckeye Football Fever kicks off your night at 7 o'clock. And we're the only station in town that you can watch the game when it kicks off at 8 o'clock. And then as soon as the game ends, the guys will be back with all the post-game reaction on Buckeye Football Fever. New at 6, a major settlement in environmental court today. Office store supplier Staples agreed to stop having janitors dump their waste into storm drains. Turned out that the waste went directly into the Scioto River. Now, it's believed that at least 3 Staples stores in central Ohio were dumping the waste. Staples told the judge that once they learned where the waste went, they stopped the practice. Staples agreed to pay $25,000 to the county's general fund, and they've set up a national policy for disposal of their janitorial waste. Dublin-based Cardinal Health writing out a big check to the government. The company agreed to a $34 million settlement that will lift controlled substance license suspensions on 3 of their pharmaceutical shipping facilities. This comes after a year of negotiations, followed by allegations that some of Cardinal's customers were distributing medications to rogue internet pharmacies. Cardinal Health did not admit to any wrongdoing in the settlement, but says it has resolved all governmental claims. It was in March 1958 that Jackson joined the police force, and in 1990 he became Columbus's first African-American chief. Now he'll go on leave next month, and he'll retire as police chief March 16th, 2009. In tonight's big story, ABC 6's Maria Durant joins us from downtown Columbus with reaction to Jackson's retirement. Maria? Continuing coverage now, a story that was breaking news on ABC 6 News at 5, a stabbing in broad daylight. And it happened on West Broad and High Street, right across from the State House in Columbus, just before 3 this afternoon. Dispatchers received a 911 call that a Coda bus driver had been stabbed. When officers arrived, they learned that the driver was standing on the sidewalk waiting to relieve another driver when two men started arguing with him. Police tell ABC 6 those men were upset about missing a bus, and one of them allegedly pulled a knife and stabbed the driver in the chest. That driver had been taken in stable condition to the hospital. Those men were arrested. Tonight, the investigation continues into the deaths of 2 people who were found inside their home. Officers tell ABC 6 a daughter found her mother's body and her mother's boyfriend's body inside a West Columbus home. The latest right now is that police say it looks like a murder-suicide. The man has not been identified. The woman identified as 39-year-old Brenda Keeler. Family members tell ABC 6 News it was her birthday. So far, police have not released a motive.